Once again, welcome to our subject for today, which is about business math. So, our lesson is about lesson 1, which is all about expressing fractions to decimals and percent and vice versa. So, for our objectives, at the end of this lesson, learners will be able to express fractions to decimal and percent forms, decimals to fractions and percent forms, and percent to fractions and decimals forms. So, in this lesson, you will learn about the concept of fractions, decimals, and percent, and also how to express fractions, decimals, and percent, and vice versa. So, all numbers involving parts of a whole can be represented using fractions, decimals, and percent related to business, okay? So, our topic first is about the basic concept of fraction. So, when we say fraction, it is considered that as one of the fundamental and frequently used mathematical concepts. It has several applications in our day-to-day living. So, as an IBM student, it is necessary to recall this topic for it has numerous applications in business, okay? So, this lesson po is magiging parang refresher lang po ito sa inyo because I think elementary days natakal na po ito sa inyo or naging lesson na po sa inyo. Ayan. So, what is fraction? So, when we say fraction, it is defined as a part of a whole and it is indicated division. So, fraction is defined as a ratio. It can be written in the form A over B where A and B are whole numbers but B cannot be 0. Ayan. So, here, kung makikita nyo po dito, the number on top, which is the 2, is called the numerator. And then the number below is called the denominator. Okay? So, when is a fraction said to be in simplest term? A fraction is in simplest form if the greatest common factor of numerator and denominator is 1. So, we have here 9 over 24. Okay, so first, you need to find the GCF, which is 3. Okay, and then after finding the greatest common factor, you will divide 9 by 3 and you will get 3, and then 24 divided by 3, you will get 8. So, the simplest term of 9 and 24 is 3 over 8. Okay? So, ito po ang pinaka-simplest form or simplest term ng 9 and 24. 3 over 8. Okay? Let's move on. So, how will you find the LCD? So, LCD, to find the LCD, find the least common multiples of the denominators. So, here you will see that 3, 4, and 1/3. First, you need to find the multiples of the denominator, which is the 4. You will put 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. And then second, you will find the multiples of 3, which is 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on. You will stop when you see that meron na po silang pagkakapareho ng multiple. So, makikita nyo po dito na sa 4, ang kanila pong multiples is 12, and also the 3 is 12. So, ang kanya pong multiples is 12, or the least common denominator is 12 for this 3/4 and 1/3. Okay? So, moving on. Now naman, let's talk about the kinds of fractions. So, the first one is proper fraction. So, when we say proper fraction, its numerator is less than its denominator. So, example here is 1/2, 1/2, 5 over 6, 9 over 10. Okay? So, when we say naman po improper fraction, it is fraction greater than or equal to 1, and its numerator is greater than its denominator. So, example here, 5 over 5, 7 over 3, and 12 over 4. Okay? So, the third one is the mixed number. It is the sum of a whole number and a proper fraction. So, meron na po siyang whole number kapag mixed number. So, example here is 2 and 1/5, 4 and 1/2, 6 and 3/4. Okay? So the next one is similar fractions. Similar fractions are fractions with the same denominators. So meron po silang pagkakapareho ng denominators, okay? So 1 over 9 and 3 over 9 and 7 over 9 are similar fractions because they have the same denominators. So the last one is the dissimilar fractions. These are fractions with different denominators. So these are 1/4, 3/5, and 5/8, okay? So moving on, let's convert mixed number to improper fraction and vice versa. So the first one is, we will mix number to improper. So ang sabi dito, you need to multiply the denominator to the whole number, then add it to the numerator to make it improper. So we have here 4 and 2/5. So, kung susundan po natin ang kailangan po is multiply natin si 4 and 5. Ayan, so we will get 20. And then we will add 20 to its numerator and we will get 22. Okay? Ayan. So, kapag sinulat nyo po yan into improper, ayan po, you will just copy the denominator, which is the 5, then put the 22. Kung ano po yung answer nyo kanina. And you will get 22 over 5. Okay? So, that's the improper fraction of the mixed number 4 and 2/5. Okay? So, next naman po, improper fraction to mixed number. So, we need to divide the numerator and the denominator. So, the quotient is the whole number while the remainder is the numerator. As you can see here, ginamit po natin dito is the long method of division. So, we will simply divide 15 divided by 7 and you will get 2. 2 times 7 and you will get 14, and then subtract 15 minus 14, you will get 1. So, our whole number here is 2 and our numerator is 1 and then our denominator is 7. So, you will write it as 2 and 1, 7. So, yun po yung mixed number ng 15 over 7. Okay? So, let's move on. Ito naman po ay ordering fractions. So, ito po is para po malaman nyo kung greater than or lesser than ang fraction ng bawat isa. So, ang sabi dito, you need to cross-multiply lang po. So, ang given here is 4 over 9 and 3 over 10. So, first, we need to cross-multiply 4 and 10. So, 4 times 10 will get 40. Okay? And then, 9 times 3, we will get 27. So, as you can see, ang makikita po natin is 40 is greater than 27. So, we can conclude that 4 over 9 is greater than 3 over 10. Okay? So, yun po yung way kung paano nyo po malaman kung sino po yung mas malaki or mas maliit na fraction. Okay? So, now, let's move on operations on fractions. So, first, we were going to tackle about the adding or subtracting fractions. So, the first one is similar fraction. So, by adding or subtracting similar fractions, the numerator, you simply add the numerator and then copy the common denominator. So, simply lang po kapag similar fraction. You just need to add the numerator and then simply copy ang kanyang denominator. So, 4 plus 1, we get 5. And then, copy the denominator, which is 9. Then, we will get 5 over 9. Okay? And then, the next one po is the similar fraction. Convert to similar fractions before adding or subtracting. Ayan. So, kapag dissimilar po, so medyo kailangan nyo po kailangan nyo po muna siya convert into similar fraction para po makapag-proceed kayo ng operation. Okay? So here, kailangan po natin malaman ang least common multiples ni 5, 3, and 2. So we will get po 30. Okay? 30 po yung makukuha natin dyan. Yan po ang LCM nilang tatlo. So next, after getting po the LCM of 30, ang mangyayari na po ay 30 divided by 5. I-divide nyo po siya sa sa denominator, and you will get 6. And then, multiply by 3 and you will get 18. Okay? So, ang magiging equivalent na 3 over 5 is 18 over 30. Okay? And then, the next one, the 2/3 naman po, 30 divided by 3, you will get 15. 30 divided by 3, you will get 10, and then times 2, you will get 20. So, 20 over 30. And then, 30 divided by 2 is 15. Times 1, you will get 15 over 30. Ayan. Now, you can proceed po to its operation. Okay? Kailangan po kasi para-pareho ang kanilang denominator for you to be able to subtract and add. Okay? So, 18 plus 20, you will get 38. Minus 15, you will get 23, and then copy the denominator, and you will get 23 over 30. Okay? Ayan. So, ayan po ang pag-add or subtract ng dissimilar fraction. So, next naman po is mixed numbers. Okay? So, first, we need to convert improper before adding or subtracting. So, kailangan po muna natin gawing improper fraction, si 4 and 1/3 and 2 and a half before proceeding to adding or subtracting. So, katulad nga po na na-explain ko kanina, you just need to multiply the denominator to its whole number and you will get 12. And then add the product to its denominator, which is to its numerator, which is 1, and then you will get 13. And then you just simply copy the denominator, which is 3, and you will come up with, 13 over 3. Okay? So, second, ito naman po si 2 and a half. Same method lang po. Multiply the denominator to its whole number, and then add the numerator, and you will get 5 and a half. So, now, since na dissimilar denominator, we will find also the LCM because kailangan po natin similar yung kanilang denominator for us to be able to subtract. So, the LCM of 3 and 2 is 6, okay? So, we'll just simply put 6 here. And then, 6 divided by 3, you will get 2. And then, 2 times 13, we will get 26. Okay? And then, copy the minus sign. And then, 6 divided by 2, we will get 3. And then, 3 times 5 is, we'll get 15. Okay? Ayan. And then, now, you can proceed to its operation. 26 minus 15, we will get 11 over 6 or 1 and 5, 6. Okay? Ayan. So, those are the adding or subtracting fractions. Okay? So, let's move on. Now, multiplying fractions naman po. So, in multiplying similar or dissimilar fractions, simply multiply the numerator and the denominators, then simplify. Okay? So, here, 5 times 1, we will get 5. Then, 8 times 10, we will get 72. So, 5 over 72. Since na nakasimplest term na po siya or form, yan na po ang ating sagot. 5 over 72. Okay? So, the next one naman po is mixed numbers. So, we will need to convert to improper before multiplying. Ayan. So, kailangan po muna natin i-convert uli siya bago natin i-multiply. So, 3 times 2, 6. Huwag niyo lang po kakalimutan na ganun yung process. And then 7. And then 4 times 3 is 12. Okay. And then times 3 is, anong sagot? Okay? Ayan. So, 7 over 3 times 15 over 4. Ayan. So, now, we can na po, multiply. So, 7 times 15, we have 105. And then, 3 times 4, we have 12. So, here. Now, we can see that pwede pa po siyang paliitin. So, anong sagot here? So, we will get 35 over 4. Okay? Or pwede nyo pa po itong gawing mixed numbers. Kung gusto nyo, mas paliitin pa siya, pwede nyo pong gawing 8 and 3/4. Yan po talaga yung pinaka-simplest term niya. 8 and 3/4. Okay? Ayan. So now, let's move on dividing fractions. So first, we need to multiply the first fraction by multiplicative inverse or reciprocal of the second fraction. Okay? So, 4 over 7 divided by 9 over 14. So, 4 over 7 times, gagawin po natin tong reciprocal, and then we will get 14 over 9, and then we will multiply 4 times 14, and then 7 times 9. So we will get 56 over 63, and then we will find the GCF, which is the 7, para po mapaliit pa siya, or to get the lowest simplest term. So we will get 8 over 9. So yun po ang sagot kay 4 over 7 divided by 9 over 14. Okay? So now, I have here an activity called Let's Practice. You can try answering this one. You can pause this video if you want to answer, try to answer this. And then after that, you can play ulit the video for you to find out the answer. Okay? Ayan. So, let's have answer for number 1. Okay. So, for our number 1, the simplest form of 6 over 20 is 3 over 10. And then, sabi dito, convert 34 over 3 into a mixed number in lowest term. So, we will get 11 and 1/3. And then, for number 3, 3/4 plus 1/6 is 11 over 12. And then, for number 4 is 8 over 5. And then, for number 5 is 5 over 6. Ayan. So, for those na nakakuha ng perfect score, ayan, congratulations. So, now, parang na-refresh na kayo ulit on the basic concept of fractions. Okay? So, now, let's move on to the, aside from fraction, we need also to recall the basic concepts of decimals also. Okay? So, a decimal is a number that contains at least one decimal digit. Ayan. So, here, we have here an example, 0.143. So, as you can remember that kapag decimal po, ang unang basa po sa kanya is tenths, hundreds, and thousands. Unlike pag whole number, there is ones po. Ones, tens, hundred, thousands, and so on. So, kung babasahin po natin ito, 143 thousands. Okay? So, there are kinds of decimals. The first one is terminating decimal, the decimal with a finite number of decimal places. So, for example, 4.175 or 4.175 thousandths. Okay? So, the next one is non-terminating decimal. It is repeating decimals or place a bar over the digits that repeat. So, here, you can see that 0.27, 27, 27, and so on. Makikita nyo po na repeating decimals po yung 27. Okay? So here another one is 1.33. May bar na po siya sa taas. So, ang ibig sabihin po niyan, paulit-ulit na lang po na 3333 yung sagot yan. 1.33333, ganun po. Okay? So, those are the kinds of decimals. Now, let's proceed to the operations on decimals. Okay? So, adding or subtracting decimals. Ang sabi dito, write the decimals in column and make the decimal points aligned. Add or subtract the digits as if they were whole numbers. Okay? So, kung paano po kayo mag-add ng whole numbers, pareho lang po kayo decimal. Kailangan po pantay-pantay, magkakaline sila. Okay? Okay, you just simply add 6 plus 0 minus 4, you will get 2. Okay, and then 5 plus 3 is 8, minus 7 is 1, 3 plus 1 is 4, minus 1 is 3, and then copy the decimal point, and then 4 plus 2 is 6, minus 5 is 1, and then bring down 1 because wala naman siya kapantay. Okay, so you will get the answer 11.312 or 11 and 312 thousandths. Okay? Ayan. So, basic lang po ito, ha? Ayan. So, let's proceed to multiplying decimals naman po. So, sabi here, multiply the numbers as if they were whole and place the decimal point in the result as to have as many decimal places in it as there are in the factors combined. Okay? So, we have here 2.14 times 3.1. Ayan. So, never mind muna the decimal point. Later na po after you multiply. Okay? So, 1 times 4, we will get 4. 1 times 1, we will get 1. And then 1 times 2, we will get 2. And then, of course, the second number is 3. 3 times 4, we will get 12. Carry 1. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay? So, after that, you will add. Ayan. So, makikita nyo po here na ito po yung sagot niya. Para po makuha nyo kung saan ilalagay ang decimal, magbibilang po kayo kung ilang decimal po yung meron here. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3. So, meaning, magbibilang po kayo ng 3 places and doon nyo po ilalagay yung decimal po. Ayan. So, makikita nyo po ang sagot is 6.634 thousandths. Okay? Ayan. So, next, dividing decimals naman po. So, in dividing decimal, there are two way. So, the first one is decimal by a whole number. Ayan. So, magde-divide po tayo ng decimal into whole number. So, do as in dividing whole numbers by writing the decimal point directly above that of the dividend. So, isusulat lang po natin kung paano po tayo mag-divide ng whole numbers. And just simply copy the decimal point. Kailangan po nakaline. So, ang magiging sagot po here is 0.83. Okay? So, madali lang po mag-divide ng decimal by whole number. So, there is one another and number by a decimal naman po. Excuse me. So, medyo ito kailangan pong anuhin nyo. Kasi, hindi po tayo pwede makapag-divide na ang ating divisor is naka-decimal. So, you need to move. Kailangan nyo pong gawing whole number ito. Para maging whole number po ito, i-move nyo lang po siya ng 1 places. Kasi isa lang naman po, nasa tens lang po siya. And then also, the dividend, kailangan nyo po i-move ng 1 place. So, we will get 2170 na po siya and you will get 4. Okay? Or kung susundin nyo po ang instruction here, you just need to multiply both dividend and divisor by that power of 10 such that the divisor becomes the least whole number and then proceed in dividing. Pero para hindi nyo na po yan gawin, kung ang tawag dun, mag-move na lang po kayo. Kunwari po, 0.410, 41, then 217. Kung dalawa po yan na decimal, dalawang places, so magiging 41, then dalawa rin po yung i-move nyo dito to make it balance. Okay? So, magiging dyan is 41 and then 217. 700. Yan na lang po yung technique dyan. Para hindi na po kayo mag-multiply. Okay? So now, you can proceed to division na po. Kung paano po mag-divide ng whole numbers, ganun na po. Okay? So, you will get 542.50. Okay? Ayan. So now, let's do the activity 2, which is perform the indicated operations. Ayan. So, para po ito sa decimal, kung may natutunan po kayo sa basic concept of decimal, okay? So, again, you can pause this video for you to be able to have time to answer this activity. And then, after that, you can play na para malaman nyo po if pareho po tayo ng sagot, okay? So, let's have the answer for number 1. Okay. So, for number 1, our answer is 9.28. Number 2 is 3.75. Number 3 is 3,200. And number 4 is 0.3625. And number 5 is 144.44. Okay? So, there is one another basic concept that you need to know. It's about the concept of percent. Okay? So when we say percent, it is the ratio of number to 100. The symbols percent is used to indicate that a number is a percent. For example, here, 40% is the ratio of 40 to 100 or 40 over 100. Okay? So when we say percent can be written as fractions or decimals. The word percent means per 100. So 40% means 40 out of 100, okay? So I have here an example that 25%. So when we write this in fraction, you will get 25 over 100. And then 88%, 88 over 100, and 3% is 3 over 100. So now, after the basic concepts of fractions, decimals, and percent, let's move on and expressing fractions to decimals and percent forms, okay? So here is the first one. So from fractions to decimals and percent forms. So ang ating pong example here is 4/5. So fraction po siya. So for us to be able to make it decimal, we just simply divide 4 divided by 10 using the long method of division. So 4, dahil hindi po tayo makakapag-divide ng 4, so 0 siya, of course. Ayan. And then 4. And then, of course, we just put decimal because we're going to add 0. So 40 divided by 5, we will get 8. So 8 times 5, we will get 40. So 40 minus 40, we will get 0. So the decimal point of 4 over 5 is 8 tenths. Okay? Ayan. So now po, dahil from decimal, gagawin naman po natin siyang percent. So para po hindi na kayo mag-compute, you just need to, from decimal, you just need to move left to right 2 places. 1, 2 to make it percent, and don't forget to put a percent symbol. So the percent of 0.8 is 80%. Okay? Ayan. So from 4/5 na fraction, ang kanya pong decimal ay 0.8 and then the percent is 80%. Okay? So, let's have another example. Ayan, 3, may whole number na po siya, 3, 7 over 8. Okay? So, now, hayaan po muna natin si 3. Ang i-convert po natin is si 7 over 8. So, first, ganun lang po. Divide po uli natin si 7 over 8 to make it decimal. Okay, 0. Yan, 0. And then 7. And then we will add decimal point because we're going to add 0. So 70 divided by 8 is 8. Okay. And then 8 times 8 is 64. Ay, nakalimutan yan. 64. And then we will subtract 70 minus 64. We'll get ilan? 6. Oh, bring down 0 ulit kasi meron pa siyang remainder. So, 8 times 8 is, 8 times 8. 60 divided by 8 is 7. And then we will get, ilan? 56. And then 60 minus 56 will get 4. And then 0 again. Hanggang sa maubos po yung ano niya, remainder. So, we'll get 5. So, 5 times 8 is 40. And then, subtract and we'll get 0. So, nakuha na po natin ang decimal ng 7/8. We'll just need to add the 3. Ito pong whole number and then copy the decimal point of 7/8 which is 875. So, this is the decimal. Ayan ba yun? Sorry. Wait lang. Ang hirap pag hindi po stylus. Pasensya na po. So, we will get, ayan, the decimal 3.875. Okay? So, now, after getting the decimal point, we will get the percent. So, 3.875. Just move po. Again, 2 places from left to right. 1, 2, and copy input the percent. So, 387.5%. So, ito po yung magiging percent niya. Ayan. Okay? So, yun po ang pag-convert from fraction to decimal and percent. So, now naman po, expressing decimals to fractions and percent naman po. So, ang given here is in decimal form. So, gagawin po muna natin siyang fraction. So, 0.4. Yan. So, gagawin natin percent, sorry. So, we'll just move 2 places from left to right. Lagi pong 2 places, ha. And then, don't forget to put the percent symbol. And you will get 40%. Okay? And then, after that, gagawin naman natin yung percent into fraction. So, sabi nga here, lagi pong per 100 ang percent. So, wag nyo na po isama ang percent symbol and then over 100. Ayan ba yan? Sorry po. Pangit ng ano. And yan. So, 40 over 100 na siya. And then, kailangan pa po natin siyang in lowest term or in lowest form. So, ang kanya pong GCF ay, ano po? Okay, so 2. So, we'll divide both sides. We will divide both by 2. And we will get 2 over 5. So, ang fraction po niya ay 2 over 5. So, from decimal of 0.4, ang kanyang percent ay 40%. And then the fraction is 2 over 5. Okay? So, let's have another example. 3.14. So, first, gagawin po muna natin siyang percent. 3.14. Yan, just move 2 places from left to right. And then we will get 314%. And then, gagawin na po natin siyang fraction. 314 is over 100 kasi per 100 nga po ang ating percent. And then, we will think of the GCF para po makuha ang kanilang lowest term. So, what is the lowest term? Okay, we'll divide both side by 2. Ayan. So we will get 157 over 50. And as you can see, pwede pa po siyang paliitin at maging mixed number. So we will get 3 and 7 over 50. So, ito na po ang sagot niya. Ito po ang from 3.40 na decimal, ito po ang percent niya. And then the fraction is 3740. So, for the last one, ito na po. Expressing percent naman po into fractions and decimal. So, we have here 25% as the given. So, 25%, ayan, di ko na po isusulat ang percent sign. Gagawin natin siyang fraction. So, over 100 siya. And then, ganun po uli. Mag-iisip po uli kayo ng GCF for them para po maging lowest term po siya. So, we will divide both by 25. Kasi divisible sila sa 25. And then, we will get 1/4, okay? So, the fraction of 0.25, the fraction of 25% is 1/4. So, now, let's convert fraction to decimal. Para hindi na po kayo mag-divide, pwede nyo pong gawin si 25. Isulat nyo po si 25. And then, from right to left, magbibilang lang po kayo ng dalawa para po makuha nyo ang decimal niya. So, you will get 0.25. Okay? So, that's the decimal of 25%. Pwede rin naman po yung long method na ginagawa natin. Yung magdi-divide kayo 1/4, same lang naman po. Kaso magko-compute pa po kayo. Yun po is, ano po yun, technique na lang po para mas mapadali po yung pag-convert nyo from fraction to decimal since na alam nyo naman po siya in percent. Yan, so pwede naman po para pakita ko lang. Okay, and then 2, and then add 0 ulit. Then 20, and you will get 5. So, same lang po. 25, 0.25 po ang sagot. Okay? So, 1/4 and 0.25 po ang fraction and decimal ng 25%. So, last one is 195%. Ayan. So, gagawin uli natin siyang fraction. Okay? So, lagi pong 100 ha. Huwag po kayo malito. And then, you will think of the GCF uli. So, we have, ano po yung GCF niya? 5. Okay, so 100 divided by 5. And then, you will get 39 over 20. Ayan. So, kung makikita nyo po, pwede pa po natin siyang paliitin into mixed number and we will get 119 over 20. So, ito po ang fraction ni 195%. So, sabi dito, gawin naman po natin siyang decimal. Huwag na po kayo mag-divide, mahirapan lang kayo. Mag-move na lang po kayo. So, from right ulit to left, 2 places. And then, we will get the decimal of 195 which is 1.95. So, yun po yung decimal ni 195%. Okay? Basta po kapag in percent siya, tapos gagawin yung decimal, you just need to move from right to left 2 places. And then kapag gusto niyo naman po gawin siyang percent, you just need to move 2 places from left to right. Okay? Always remember that. So, for your last activity 3, here, the direction is fill in the empty boxes with the correct percent, decimal, or fraction, and always simplify your answer. Okay? So, dahil po tapos na po natin i-tackle ang basic concept of fraction and also the how to express fraction, decimals, and percent and vice versa. You can try this activity. You can pause this video for you to be able to have time to try answering this activity. Okay? So, after po nyo masagutan yung activity, you can play na para po to find out if we have the same answer. So, in number 1, Ang given here is 32%, so our decimal is 0.32, and then our fraction is 32 over 100 po yan. Of course, kailangan po i-simplify, so we will get 8 over 25. So in number 2, our given is 0.81, which is decimal, and then we will get the percent, 81%, and the fraction is 81 over 100 because wala na po siyang simplest term or form. Yan na po yan. Okay, number 3 is 144%. So, we'll get the decimal of 1.44, and then the fraction is 111 over 25. Number 4 is our given is 9 over 10, which is fraction. So, we'll get the 90%, and then the decimal is 0.90. And then the last number is 1.25, which is decimal. So, converting it to percent is 125%, and then the fraction is 1 and 1/4. Okay? So, kung nakakuha po kayo ng perfect score, meaning po, naintindihan nyo po yung lesson, and then, ibig sabihin na refresh na po yung utak nyo, yung isip nyo about the basic concepts of fraction, decimals, and percent, and also how to express fractions, decimals, and percent, and vice versa. Okay? So, I will end this lesson and this quotations that from Henry David Thoreau. It says here that we live but a fraction of our lives. It's simply that use your precious moments to live life fully. So, every single second of every single day. So, dapat po lagi nating enjoy yung buhay natin kasi nga life is too short. Okay? So, that's all. Thank you so much. See you on our next lesson.